Cool. Let me
Bro, let me share my screen.
let me start recording. Go ahead, Jack. You want to go
Bro,
first?
bro, look at this. This is
Go
what Gio
ahead,
didn't give y'all. Gio didn't give y'all this trade. Look at this. No drawdown. Gio didn't give y'all this. How disrespectful.
bro.
Nah, I'm just playing. But I mean, no matter where it goes, I'm not tripping. I only thing I'm scared about in this trade is this trend line right here. That's kind of terrifying, to be honest. I kind of hate seeing that when I'm in a trade. But I got in it because obviously, if you look at the 5 minute, if y'all were on the call last week, I broke down smart money in the most simplified, basic way possible. We had our what Geo loves to say is consolidation and put a little box on it. This is the Geo method. Put a little box on it, and then you have nice little sweep off this wick. And then we had an imbalance that never got fully filled. It still hasn't fully filled it, but I knew there was still a little bit of room left. And if I use my fib, that's not a fib. If I use my fib, y'all know I love my fib tool. I want to see inner liquidity taken around the half. We have liquidity around the half. So I entered based off of this inner liquidity getting taken. And will it stay? Who knows? I would love for this to keep going up.
It did
I'm targeting
it did
this.
it did give a 101. So I mean, for me, it would have been stop loss at break even already. So I mean,
Cheap. There you
it's
go.
okay.
But I mean, I'm targeting this imbalance up to the sell area. Because if we do not take this out, I actually want the market to keep this if we can. Just keep this for now because I'd rather have it come up all the way up here. One, for my profits, duh, but two, um, to give more of a reason to actually react off of the sell area because there is liquidity that's left behind. So that would I feel like it'd be very beneficial for the market if it does want to do that. But if this trade doesn't go, shit, it is what it is. I'm not tripping. I only risked like 100 on it. So I mean, I'm not tripping over $100. If you trip over 100, then I don't know what to tell you.
We
But
get it, rich guy.
I mean, it's a funded buddy. I just you spend $50 on it. It's not that much. Um, but I mean, if y'all saw the plays, I mean, if he caught out a banging, what was it, Nas? Yeah, if he sent this out. If y'all don't know who Iffy is, he's one of our educators on the platform, and he just sent out this beautiful, easy Nasdaq entry. I know Josh caught it. Yeah, he just said he caught it, and pretty much, bro, like the way I trade is exactly how Iffy trades. So if y'all can see, we have what liquidity right here. We have this sweep right here. I love to see this type of candle, big body low wick, because it's an institutional candle. So that swept out this liquidity. And if you go on a higher time frame, we have this imbalance that needs to be filled. But we also see that we have liquidity around the half right here. Anytime you see a bullish followed by a bearish candle, there's liquidity right below this low. So I want to see, okay, can the market come back? As you can see, it broke this high. So we have a break of structure right here. Break of structure, boom. Okay, cool. Now what do I need to see? I want to see a mitigation. So what do I need to see for this market to be a valid entry? Personally, I'm not entering just based off this sweep because I would rather just get a tighter stop loss. I don't really want to enter up here. And I know since this is a super tight zone, it's probably going to come back deeper, and it did. So as you can see, the market came back, and if you held, I mean, you could have took out all this external liquidity and you had this trend line liquidity right here. I don't know if y'all can see that. We had all of this trend line liquidity right here. So personally, for me, I just hold above that trend line, and that would have been an easy 1 to 6. You could have had that in the morning. Gold, I called this out at our workshop that we do in Phoenix. Called this out. TP hit. Boom. John didn't even take it. He, I think, fell asleep. That's just John. So he didn't get paid. But I did give him this really nice gold buy. We had this inner liquidity that got taken out. We had this sweep right here. Very clean price action, by the way. Liquidity right here, swept, and then we swept everything to the left. Like we swept all these equal lows, all of that got out of the market. And then market maintained for a while, which is really good. You want to see this. Whatever setup you have, you want to see market hold for a little bit because it's going to give you more of a confirmation that, hey, maybe it's going to stay as a bullish structure. As you can see, it did. I mean, this played out perfectly. And then Bitcoin, yes, I am the market mover. If you didn't know, I actually moved it to all-time highs. I called out. I'm just playing, but I called out this trade, and I mean, it just flew. And that's kind of a cool flex that I could say that I caught the trade to get the all-time high on Bitcoin. the first all-time high since January. So yeah, if y'all know anything about Bitcoin, you guys know the more that this is going to squeeze and pump to the upside, the better Ethereum's going to do, the better that these projects that we call out in the chat, you're going to have a nice looking portfolio. So we definitely want this to keep going up. For something called a bull run. If you don't know what that is, I recommend you jump on Tony's calls every Thursday. He puts them in the chat. If you don't hop on, that's on you. You definitely don't want to learn trading and then just not learn crypto. Like it's like a dynamic duo situation. It doesn't make sense not to learn it. But let me just go quickly over the market real quick. Let's just see what we got going on. This is GU. I caught this super clean buy down here. We had a nice little break of structure to the upside. I think it's on the 15-minute. Yeah, it's 15-minute entry. This candle right here swept all this previous liquidity. Super clean break of structure to the upside. And I knew just here, we already played out of this area. And we had a lot of bullish momentum starting to come back into the market. And we absorbed all these orders over here to the selling side. So I said, you know what? Why not just take a crack at this and see if we can get this swing back up even to this area? But obviously, as you see, it just ripped right through it. And I'd rather obviously take what the inner high. So I had my TP around, was it 1 to 5? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 1 to 5 because I want to take this liquidity, catch this area. Boom, easy respect. Someone said USD CAD. What do you want to see on USD CAD? Like, what is it doing right now? Or do I think there's a setup possible for USD CAD? What's up with USD CAD? USD CAD right now is playing out of this area. Super clean. Swap liquidity to the left. We took internal right here. This would have been a really easy sell. I wish I could have seen that. Yeah, this was very easy. This is going to keep going most likely. Yeah, we just missed that. Okay. That was a very easy sell in the spot too. Dang. Well, it is what it is. I'm not tripping because I never had attachment to this trade. But if you are in USD CAD and you saw this, that's a very easy, clean sell. And I mean, this market is heavily bearish, and I would have just had the continuation right here. I expect this to automatically just rip through this because, dude, I've been just shredding 1 hour trap candle. Yeah, this looks really good. USD CAD, or if you called it out for Daniel, if you already called it out and you saw this and you took it, that's a really good trade. I would have definitely loved to have had that. But let me just go over briefly what we're looking at in the market. Euro USD, I actually don't trade this pair for two reasons. It's just like I call it the fake out king. Like every single time this pair just loves to do shakeouts and it's extremely annoying. And if you don't know what a shakeout is, it means like the market runs your low, but it still goes the exact way you wanted it to anyways. Or like it runs your high. It happens all the time with this pair, especially like on macro, like type of time frames. Like you'll have there was like an area I had like right here, super clean, and then it'll just run your low and just go the automatic way that you were running. Same thing here, ran your low, went the way it went. So like this isn't a clean structure usually with Euro USD. But as you can see, we had this rejection off of this lower area and it's currently bouncing back up. Could we see this? Is my kind of first thought. Do we come back into this area? Sorry, I didn't mean to delete that. Do we come back into this area, take out all of this liquidity right here, this trend line right here, and play out back to the downside? We definitely could. I actually like this actually a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. This looks really clean. My thing is just like, okay, if we ran this area for a reason, does that mean that we're just going to rip through this and create an all-time high, or not an all-time high, but a new high, and then use it as a support? Not sure, but I do really like this area. We have this sweep of liquidity right here. We have this trend line, and we have this imbalance that I'd actually be targeting. Let me go on a 1 hour. I think you can see this better on a 1 hour. Yeah, I'd be targeting this area. Take this internal liquidity. This will be kind of the area that I'd like to enter off of personally. But I like it. Euro USD, that's a decent sell look. USD CAD, like I said, it's just going to keep going down. UChef, I didn't even set an alert for this. I guess I hit it. That's cool. I didn't even know that this trade was in profit. Same thing with UChef. I expect this to just keep going lower. I mean, these are just super bearish pairs, and there's like no buying structure to play out of around here. This would be like the first one I guess you could see a reaction out of. But I'd just be holding personally. If I was in this trade, I'd be holding to this. I wouldn't be trying to hold too much longer. And I would have entered based off this retest. You could have just had this super clean entry, held your stop. So yeah, USHF just gonna keep going down. USDMXN, if you guys know who Miguel is, this is his pair. This is the only thing he trades. Um, I'm not a fan of this structure. Wow, this is really choppy. NAS active, I'm gonna get in. Active, what you mean? Like for buys?
Yeah, bro. I like the setup still. I mean, it didn't hit my entry, but I can see the liquidity it left below. It just wicked my entry. So I'm gonna get
So you
in
like
for
this area
buys.
right here?
Yeah, bro. So can I, let me see, let me share my
Yeah.
screen so I can explain to them real quick, just to show them what I see.
Oh
Um,
no. You
cool.
host.
Perfect. Right. Can everyone see my screen? Type a one if you can see my screen. Right? Because we really do this shit. So obviously, guys, we're bearish overall, right? My overall thing with NAS is I do want it to come back into this zone right here, continue sales. Huge imbalance. There's a lot of reasons. For me, the way I trade is a little differently. I want to see 5 minute break of structure. Once we see that, I can now consider my sales. We really trade the same, but it's just you get a little bit more in depth, and the process of thinking is a little bit different, right? So for me, what I saw, right, is that little box that Jack was talking about. I saw it right here, right? And if we were to respect this, right, we were going to continue going lower. But as we can see, we broke previous highs, right? I mean, lower high, and we created new highs, right? As well, for me, when a trade gets invalidated, right, you have your consolidation, break a structure, right, change a direction, and then that retest, and then stop loss got hit, right? Usually for me, when stop loss gets hit, yo, something was on my hat. It's crazy. When stop loss gets hit, right? I want to see a comeback to the 618. So I'll grab the fib from here to here, right? And it gave me this 618 zone for a retest to continuation on a uptrend. Obviously, this trade is active, right? It rejected a little bit. Right? We had this small imbalance, this little area that we just saw, right? It just created liquidity. So that's the only reason I liked it, and it never put me into the trade. So me personally, I am personally in this trade for buys. I just entered. But for me, this is a good risk reward. You're looking at a 30 pip risk. So if you entered right now, you're looking at a 40, you're risking 40 pips to potentially make 90. So you're risking $30 to make $90. And I think Jack, your TPE was just a bit higher, just above right here, right?
I have it at if you go in the 15 minute, I want to see an imbalance. Uh, there you go. Go higher. I'm looking for this to be swung to that imbalance like right before the zone, pretty much.
Okay, cool. So I mean, this is a 1 of 5, right? Easily a 1 of 5. If it doesn't hit, right, I also want you to understand if it doesn't hit, it's okay because we'll just look for continuations on sales, right?
Yeah.
We just follow the trend, but as of right now, I am personally in buys. It makes sense to me, and I like the risk or reward. But go ahead, bro. You can take it back away.
Appreciate you for going over there, kind of just your thought process. I feel like it's very important for people to know. If we do lose this
Got you.
trade, it is Gio's fault. So just blame him in the chat if this trade does not go the way we
Hey,
want it.
just by the way, bro, just to put it in there, I'm the one that has dropped 6 trades in the chat and haven't lost one.
Yeah, but if this is the one you lose, then they're all gonna be mad at you. So
Yeah, well,
just don't forget that. I'll have Jalen get mad at you. Don't worry. Um, but ooh, gold is in my area, but damn, gold came up a lot higher than I was wanting. This is actually junior shell zone. It's exact 30 minute right here. You wanted this imbalance to be filled. You can literally tell this is a junior entry. This big ass imbalance is what he wants to see every time. But I mean, it is playing out right now. It is currently in profit. I would actually personally get in if we get this. If we can get just a break and close below these bodies, and maybe say like this, we get a retest. Say this body were to come down, come back, I'd get a retest in this zone. This is personally where I'd be entering. I actually do like this a lot because I want to see this, especially like, let me go in a higher time frame. All of this shit, just all of this, just straight trend line liquidity. We broke it to the upside, but I want to see this, just all of this trend line liquidity just get absolutely obliterated in the zone. This looks really good. If we get that break and close below, I'll personally be entering. If we don't, is what it is. But if we do get, I'm actually gonna say, hey guys, blah blah blah, I'm entering. If we get this break body close below, a body close, by the way, say the candle does this. This is the body of a candle. Let me make this darker so you can see it. They say this is the body of a candle and it closes below this line. That's exactly personally when I say, okay, cool. Now we're gonna have more bearish momentum coming in, and I'm waiting for a candle to come back into my zone, sell off. That's exactly when I'll be entering because this is what we call a breaker structure. That means this buying structure that you've been seeing, the bias is now switching to what? Bearish, aka selling. So if we can get that, I'll be personally taking it. I'd be down for that because I was already eyeing this area. Me and John already kind of went over. We both like this area. If it goes our way, dope. If we get body slammed, it is what it is. I mean, that's just how it works sometimes in the market. But I'll keep an eye out on gold. I'm gonna set actually an alert for this. Might be really loud because my alerts are unbelievably loud for some reason. But if this does break, close below, and retest, I'll be personally entering to take out all of this. It looks super clean, makes a lot of sense. Silver. Ooh, this was so clean. That was a very clean scenario. Let's actually look at silver. I don't actually trade silver that much, to be honest. I really don't. Like, this is like the one zone I probably have on my. Yeah, I have like 2 or 3 zones. I barely trade this pair. Let's see where. I mean, ooh, this looks good. I'd actually want to see this for silver, though. I want to see silver. This is way too dark. Let me enlighten it. If we can get silver to take out this trendline liquidity right here, break, give a close below, maybe silver can get more momentum down. But silver does look stronger than gold right now, and that's very rare to say. But silver definitely looks stronger than gold currently at the moment. So I'd be more hesitant to take silver, and I'd actually be more down to take gold. And I don't say that very often because gold usually just rips, like just because it doesn't care. But silver looks really bullish. We had this nice little retest right here where we swept liquidity. We had on a 1 hour, I guarantee you we had a break of structure, came back, retested. This is called accumulation. So this perfectly accumulated back to the upside. Damn, I wish I saw that. That would have been easy money right here. These setups are so easy. When you get these on the 1 hour, just big accumulations. I mean, if you can see this, you're going to get money all day. It's very easy to collect. But yeah, I'd rather see gold than silver, to be honest. But this could be a potential silver area that can play out. GU. Let's look at GU. GU just looks bullish to me right now. We're playing out of this area currently. And yeah, it looks like we're going to just come take out these highs soon. So we just missed this trade. Yeah, damn. We had this break of structure. This was so clean. I'm a little salty, bro. I wish I could have seen this. We had this sweep right here on the 15-minute. We had this liquidity right onto this side with this little trend line liquidity. We took that out. Now we had a break and close above on the 1 hour. We had a retest. If you entered, I would probably, let's see where I would enter personally. I enter off of this trap candle area. I just know myself. That's exactly where I'd be entering. You would pretty much be at a 1-to-1 already to take the highs at a 1-to-3. This is really clean. Here's gold. Now I want this to be a body close. Okay, it's not giving me that. If this closes as a body, gives me a retest, I'll be entering gold. I just want this body to stay below this. I don't want to. Yeah, like you see all these bodies, bro. I want to see it close below this. We get this close below this, we get a retest. I'll be personally entering. Yeah, I like gold a lot. Take all this trend line out. Gio, this might be a banger. I'm not gonna lie to you. I usually don't like to say that in trades, but this is looking pretty good. Not gonna lie. If it does close below, but we'll see. Let me go back. I'm gonna just set. I kind of have to watch that a little bit closer, but I'll go to oil. I don't like trading oil to be honest. Oil like bitch slaps me every time I trade it. I feel like someone typed in the chat. In gold already. I like the volume divergence. Okay, Josh, we get it. You're rich, dude. Holy shit. Stealing all the profits, buddy. Let us have some, buddy. You're already passing accounts right now. Jeez. But we have oil. Um, this guy. We had ooh, we had the sweep of liquidity right here. We broke below this. Um, I don't know how I feel about oil. I don't like this price action. We had this come in and take this high, but this candle never made a bottom. So no, it did. Never mind. So can we get momentum to push lower? Because I can see this. We go on a 1 hour. We had this body close below this. We took internal liquidity. I'd want to see personally oil push out of this and maybe come back into some area up here, but I don't really trade oil enough to really give an opinion because I just don't really know the price action of oil too much. UJ, wow, that was really clean. UJ just tanked. That's awesome. I didn't even know I had this area, but I got body slammed. That's cool. But UJ, I already know what this played out of if I look at it, to be honest. It came down. Yeah, took this liquidity, this inner liquidity, respected this area. Yeah, this is clean. UJ just came back. I need a different color for this box, bro. It's so hard to see. I just don't like having such a bright background. I used to have like all white and I like would tear my eyes apart, like trying to trade at night. How's Nas doing? We're still good. Let me just check real quick. I like to just check once or twice. Yeah. Yeah, we're chilling. We're in profit. We go back. UJ. Nothing really that I want to play out of. This was a huge sweep right here. What would I want to see on UJ? Well, this came in, took this liquidity. UJ could very well just keep pushing down. And I see this already. Like my eyes are already noticing this. So I'd want UJ to come down to here. This would be like a buy backup potential. This is kind of a falling knife, so it is really risky to take. But I don't want to take any setup knowing that we have all this trend line right here. Like even if I draw it out to here, this is all a trend line of liquidity. So I'm not interested in taking any positions in this area. So we're just going to sit on our hands for UJ, AU. Yeah, this is how I know I don't trade AU very much. This was my old fib colors. AU, I had this area that played out, gave that out to Arizona. This took the inner high, but obviously we broke structure. And it's looking like it wants to keep pushing higher. So I'd just be sitting on my hands. Potentially we can see this. We took liquidity to the left with this big imbalance to fill. We could get this, and then NU, last pair that I'd be looking at. Wow, this is really ugly. I think NU could push lower. We have equal lows right here, and we have this liquidity. So yeah, I wouldn't be looking for anything on NU. Man, Gio, we don't really have a lot of potential right now. This is looking kind of ugly.
Can I go now?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm
I-
one
I'm
over
not. I'm
time.
not. I'm not used to. I'm not used to going second. I'm sorry.
Oh, number one over here. Number one over here. Sorry.
Hey, I'm just before number two. That's all that matters.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, bro. I kind of see a lot of the same things you're seeing. So if we just start with like NAS, let's go with the indices. We are in small profits. We entered at 2080 88, right? And we're around 7 pips in profit. Nothing crazy. It's being a little slow now that we got here. But I can see it working itself up, slowly by slowly. So Now when it comes to gold, right, I kind of don't. I see it, but I don't, right? This is an area that I've been waiting on. I'm just very strict on my 5 minute BOSs. So for me to see that, I would want to see a closure below here, which is a far as closure. Um, or I would want to see a new hype get created again, and then us go for that. Um, but yeah, I actually had this whole zone for gold. If you can see right here, if we go to the 4 hour, very very simple, right? Consolidation. Here's your little box, your break of structure, change of character. Stop loss got railed. Anyone that tried to buy got railed, right? We grab our fib from the high to the low, and it gives us this 618, 786 area, right? But when we're already going on a downtrend, right? I am more of a, obviously you have your 618, but I'm more of a 7, 8, 886 guy once we're already following the trend. The only time I use the 618 is when we are not following the trend. So meaning that we are looking for sells um, or buys when the market's selling, right? That's the only way. So yeah, I kind of don't. I wouldn't want to see this. Just so I would want to see higher. So this would be our new higher low, and then we create a new higher high, and then once we break this higher low, man, it's game over. That's what I would want to see because that 2 minute just confirmation. I just haven't used it before, so I wouldn't know if it works for me. What I know that has been guaranteed is those 5 minute break of structure. So I would rather see a 5 minute break of structure up here, come back, sweep these guys out. Now we're bearish. We take them all, right? We wait on that retest. So that's for gold, right? Silver, crazy. I had some buy opportunities, right? So technically, hypothetically, let's say we continue buying, right? Which, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we're on our way to create new highs, right? But technically, market's still bearish until we have a closure above here, right? So this can end up two ways, right? We can come to my area of interest, and I'll tell you why it's my area of interest, and smack, or we might come and it might hit stop loss, right? So kind of let me show you what I was looking at. So you obviously have this consolidation, break of structure, change of character. Stop loss got hit, right? Once stop loss got hit, we grab our fib, low to the high, right? And we came to the 50. And actually, I'm regretting this trade right now. We came to the 50. We didn't come to the 618. Market pushed higher, right? The thing that's not consuming me that we're gonna continue buying right here, and we might, but simply is this liquidity, right? This liquidity. What if we don't hold this liquidity area, right? But again, right? Market did come down, rejected. We are pushing up. What I don't like is we didn't create new highs, right? But once we get into the 5 minute zone, we have this consolidation, this break of structure, this change of character. And if we can get this retest before we close below, right, I will take the buys up to continue higher. And as we look at gold, gold's still, holding up in this area. It's not selling hard. So, this can be a easily 1 of 3 that's approaching right now. It just to liquidate these guys, continue going higher. So this is actually what I have on mine. So silver, I'm gonna take it. It's a small risk, 70 pips, nothing crazy. But I can see it, definitely coming and still, you know, maybe taking these highs and then maybe rejecting off here. This double top right there. So that's technically what I would want to see. I feel like this rebalances itself perfectly. Boom, rebalance, higher high, higher low. We're on our way for a new high. This is just a previous higher low. We're just coming back, taking care of a couple things. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in this trade. This is a trade that I will be taking. So that's for silver. Like I said, for gold, technically what I would love to see is, where's my path right here? Right. I would want to see market, boom, Boom. Create new highs. Break this. And we get on that trade right there. Right. This is what I would want to see. Technically, what I would want to see for gold. So I don't want to see a closure yet. If we get one, we get one. If we don't, we don't. Silver rejected. The break below. Guess nah. I would still consider it active. So I'm gonna just be patient. If gold does that structure, then we will be out of it. US 30, right? I don't trade oil, guys. Like oil just does not treat me right. It's like Jack, like just not. It's not it. It's not it. I don't know why. It's just not it. Not my thing. But US 30, right? We go in US 30. We had this beautiful drop today, right? If you, I showed a couple people, right? But technically, this did hit stop loss. We had our consolidation, break of structure, change of character. We had this retest, beautiful, but we didn't withhold that retest as well. If we go to the 5 minute, right, we can see this right here. Where is it? Right here. Yep. So you have your consolidation. No, actually, no. Yeah, right here. Right. If you go to the smaller times, consolidation, break of structure, right, change of character, and then it hits stop loss. Right. Stop loss was hit. So as soon as it hits stop loss, right, my deal is to grab the bottom to previous highs, right? And we actually entered this sell on the way down. Oh, wrong side. From the top to the bottom, right? Came to our 786, completely tanked, right? And continued more on the downside. Now, after that downside, right, and market pushed up, that was great. But what I realized is the same thing happened again. 222, right? Same thing happened again, right? Stop loss was hit, right? New lower low was created, right? And I'm looking for the previous buy setup, right? So we go to the 3 minute, right? I saw a sell setup, right? I was like, okay, now that since we are continuing to sell, let me just, right? I was like, okay, since we're continuing to sell, right? Consolidation, break a structure, change a character, right? You grab that, you grab your fib, low to the high, right? Came to the 618. I would have probably, which I did enter, right? I did get into this trade. I just didn't overdid it, right? Once it created new lows, I got out, right? But as of right now, I don't have like any buys. And what's interesting is NAS is the only one that broke above in the 5 minutes, right? So as we can see, lower low, right? We did create highs, but then we created new lows again. So NAS has been only one that has broken above this previous high. So right now, what I would want to see from US 30 and SPX, it do the same, right? I want to see it break above. But again, when you look at these pairs, um, stop loss got hit. If we look at this setup right here, right, I would want to sell anywhere within this zone for SPX, right? And really more, and I'm about to show y'all what exactly. Um, but more like I feel like this already retraced, filled up some things. So really more within this zone if we wanted to. But the really one that shows me honestly the best out of all is NAS, right? NAS is the one that's showing me the best opportunity. We are the most bullish out of most pairs, right? Consolidation, break a structure, change character, stop sit. Yes, we had a rejection, didn't hold, right? This is gonna be our 618 area. This is Dow. What am I doing? Right. Boom. Right. Once we go to the, as you can see, this is still bullish. Like, look at her. Like, none of this has claimed to me, even if you go to the daily, that we're bearish, right? Maybe the daily, right? Consolidation, break a structure, change of character, right? You grab your fib, right? Came into 78886 zone, right? But I do feel like before we continue going down, right, we have to recover, right? So I am in the bearish ends, right? But as you can see, we are in small profits right now. Market slowly pushing up. We're not having a real problem with NAS right now, but as you can see, this is the only one that did break above, right? So it does give me bullish indices, which I really like. Obviously Bitcoin just hit 110K today, right? You know, Fernando called out a crazy buy, all the way from like 70, right? He's been holding buys all the way from over here. So shout out to the boy. That was an insane bag that he made. But let's go. I really just trade these pairs. It's not even crazy. Is there any pairs y'all wanted me to look at before we call it? I do have another call, so I really want to make sure that we are able to you know, look at everything with y'all. I want to go to a little higher. Nas always my fave out of three. So yeah, I got you, bro. Soul USD. I really don't trade crypto. Um, right? I really don't trade crypto, but Sol is actually one of my top earnings. I mean top crypto. So overall, if we go to the daily, right, we are getting bullish tendencies. We broke previous highs, right? You know, higher high, higher low, you know, boom. Once we created this higher high, I would like to see gold now becoming a little bit more bearish, right? You have this consolidation, break a structure, change a character we held, right? Um, this I wouldn't count it. The reason why I wouldn't count it, it didn't get nowhere close to 7886. Um, but boom, you know, I would want to see a little higher, but I do see this, right? We had this consolidation, break a structure, change a character. If we grab the fib from the high to the low, right? It did come into that zone of 618, rejected, right? And now is pushing forward higher. So yes, there is an opportunity per se to enter a trade up here. But to be honest with you, Josh, I would want to see Solana continue going higher. And if we continue seeing higher consolidation, break structure, change character, stop loss got hit, right? Um, yeah, we even missed these buys a wrong way, right? Consolidation, break structure, change the character, stop loss got hit, right? Once stop loss got hit, we want to continue um, looking for sells. So yeah, it's. I mean, if it doesn't hold this area, Josh, I wouldn't want to see us continue higher. So if we don't hold this area right here, right, this would be where I would want us to continue going lower. Um, bro, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't trade JPY and I don't trade um I got you, bro. I don't trade like forex pairs anymore. Like they're just the worst. Like look at this. Like I had this set up for USD CAD. Because I mean, like really in all reality, bro, like I would have waited all this day just to make fucking 30 pips and excuse my language, 50 pips, right? Yeah, bro. Yeah, it did turn into you with futures. So like it just doesn't make sense. It missed my setup. Like, oh well. Um, AU, like these are the max I would look at when it comes to trading foreign exchange. But I'll look at GJ, bro. Um, GU, just continue going higher. If I would want to see something, it would be right here. So this is your GU play, guys. And I'll look GJ, please. Yo, y'all got a serious problem. I hate GJ. I hate JPY pairs in general, bro. It's yeah, just oh no. It's just I've never been able to hit on it. I don't recommend anyone doing trading pairs if you are informed on TA. Yeah, I mean, I guess, bro. But in the end of the day, it's like preference. Like you gotta understand yourself as a trader. It's like what am I good at? Where am I getting the most success at? Right? Am I just trading a pair because it's nice or it's just getting more in depth into it. So overall, right, we did create new highs. So boom, new highs were created, higher high, um, higher low. So if we're going higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Cool. So we are bullish. We are in bullish tendencies right now, right? This would be our next potential. If we close below here, is where I would look for potential sells, right? We had this movement, right? Now this is where we break it down. Um, cool, cool, cool. Uh, two broke above consolidation, big structure, change of direction. Stop loss got smashed, right? So if we grab here to here, I want to see bearish tendencies around the zone, right? And we might continue just falling right now, right? Because that's what it's looked like it's doing. It's just falling. Once we higher, yeah, once we break here, higher high, higher low, higher high, bearish, right? So 30 minutes. We have this imbalance right here. Market sweep down, took these guys up, and then we went higher. So what I would want to see for buys, so we never came back. So off this guy right here. Boom, boom. So this is technically what I would want to see from um GJ, right? Just this area right here, right? 151 500, or 192 500. We can break it down possibly. Um, it honestly would be even lower. Right here. There's liquidity right there. So it'd be in this zone right here. You have your left. We'll do this one right here. So it'd be in the 191 500, and then it would be a bigger risk. But you would be buying to sell overall. Yes, it might be a bigger risk. That's why I don't like trading as well. Like if I trade currencies, like I'm probably waiting a couple weeks for that trade to hit, right? For a 1 of 4, boom, there you go, guys. So which pairs would I recommend? If you're getting started, bro, like these are your top pairs. I don't trade GJ. I think she's a little toxic too. I'll leave it on here for y'all for next week or for Sunday, right? But USD CAD, right? Bears just hopped in gold, uh, bro. Not yet.
Yeah, it's not.
We
It hasn't broke below yet for
we
me.
we created new highs, yes, but we haven't broke low. So like just be patient. But Jack, I'll let you take it away, brother.
I mean, what else is there to really talk about? I'm just playing. But I mean, if y'all did have a good call, I do appreciate y'all. We do have another call coming up. But I'm just gonna share my screen real quick just to kind of wrap up just a couple things. So with gold, um, I know a lot of people were talking about, oh, gold could be bearish. I don't want to get into gold until I see this. Until I can see this lower high broken, and then say this comes back and retest, that's when I'll enter gold. I'm not touching gold until it does that. What did someone say in the chat? I just saw something. Any key time frames you recommend in terms of volatility? Well, all time frames are gonna have the same volatility. It's just what you see on your screen. So like the 1 minute's gonna look a lot more chaotic than say like the 4 hour. But the basic time frames that I recommend is the 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour. You can do it the 30 minute if you want. I don't really care to use anything related to the 30 minute. It doesn't really have a purpose for my setups and how I trade. But yeah, 5, 15, 1 hour, 4. I don't recommend anyone going as low as the one. Um, Especially if you're not trading futures, and it doesn't make really much sense to do that. And I don't, if you're a new trader, you don't want to like just confuse your brain and just be all over the place and chaos. Like, oh, it's going up or it's going down. Just get on higher time frames that help you stay in the markets. If that's something that does help you. But if you want, those are the best time frames you can use. If that makes sense. My apologies, I meant sessions. Oh,
Yeah, I don't trade smaller time frames, guys. I trade bigger time frames. Like a lot of y'all be looking at the markets at like 5 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Like
yeah,
I trade 4 hours, and once it gets in my 4 hour zone, I just wait on my 5 minute break of structure. Like it's
yeah,
that simple. Don't overcomplicate it.
yeah. I've seen some people do like 5 seconds, which is fucking insane.
It's
If you're
insane, bro.
if you're doing that
But
shit,
Jack,
you're
I'm about to hop on this next call, bro. Let's run it.
all right, bet, bro. So I'm just wrap up real quick. So I'm gonna answer your question just real quick. I meant sessions like London, Asian, US. Depends on what